Zacks Rank Buys, stocks with a short-term buy or strong buy recommendation. Now, here are more Zacks Rank Buys. Value stocks is what we're talking about here with Tracey Ryniec, our value stock strategist at Zacks.com. Well, you've brought a couple of interesting ones with you this time, let me tell you. Every time I think you bring some interesting ones, then you outdo yourself the next time around. TAL International, TAL, the ticker symbol. Yep. They make freight containers.
Yes, they make and lease them. These are the kind of big containers that you see on the ships or on trucks and on trains and all that move goods around the world. They're one of the largest in that segment. Mm-hmm. It's been really hot for them, basically. There's a shortage of containers because during the recession, nobody made any new ones. So when the demand started coming back, everyone's like, we need containers, and there's not enough. So their utilization rate on the containers that they have right now is running about 98%, which is an all-time record for them. So basically every container they have is either being sold or leased or something. They have put in a big order this year for a whole bunch of new containers to try to meet the demand. But until they actually get those delivered and get them in line, things are good for them because they're able to get 100% capacity here.
So shipping is up, I guess we can say?
Yes, shipping is up, and the company sees demand increasing through at least the first quarter of 2011. They won't say anything more beyond that right now, but the conditions are supposed to remain really favorable for the next 2 quarters, essentially. Okay. The company beat big. It's been beating big the last couple of quarters. They didn't give guidance, but with these favorable conditions, the analysts are all raising estimates. The 2011 number looks really good. They're seeing another 26% earnings growth going into 2011. The interesting thing is when I wrote about this stock, it was not super cheap, but it was within the value range, but it still continued to move higher just in the last couple of days. And so it's trading a little over 15 times. But with the growth rate, its PEG ratio is kind of lower in the value range, so it still has some of the value components. One other interesting thing that's really good for investors, I think, is that it pays a really big dividend. It's raised it 2 times this year, just recently, in fact, and it's about 5.5% yield. So you're getting yield plus you're getting growth and some value mixed in. So it's kind of a good combination.
That's always good for investors. And it's a Zacks number 1?
It is, yep. So the estimates are rising and things look good.
All right. Lithia Motors, LAD, the ticker symbol, is another one that you've written about recently. This is an auto retailer?
Yeah. This was a surprise to me because I wouldn't think that autos would be doing really well right now. I know that they're on the upswing, and I know they're on the upswing internationally, but I didn't know that everybody's out buying cars, new and used, here in the United States, apparently. But Lithia, they own 85 car dealerships around the country in both rural and urban areas, so they are kind of a good barometer about what's going on with the consumer, at least on the auto side. And this last quarter, they just saw used car sales up 20%, new car sales up 8%, and even on the area where they do maintenance, that was up 2.5%. So all their segments are running pretty hot here. They did raise guidance for the full year for the second or third time this year, actually. And the interesting thing about them is last April, they thought they'd see about 60 to 70 cents per share for the year, and now they're seeing almost $1 per share. That's a big change in only 6 months. So that tells you that business is really good. And they also gave kind of a sneak peek for 2011 that showed another double-digit earnings growth going into 2011. So they don't really see it slowing down anytime soon. So this is a good thing about what's going on out there in the economy where we hear all this doom and gloom, but the car dealerships aren't really seeing it. In terms of their valuation, they're kind of in the same boat as TAL. They were a little bit cheaper when I wrote about them just a week ago, but the stock has really been taking off on this earnings beat, on this raised guidance, and just on the general market kind of bullishness that's going on here. So they're a little over 15 times. But otherwise, they also have a pretty good story here.
All right. Do you own either of these two?
I do not.
All right. If you want to check out more Zacks Rank Buy stock pick ideas, go to our homepage. And in the upper right-hand corner of that homepage is where we put 4 new stock pick suggestions for you daily, one in each of the investing categories written about on Zacks.com. With Tracey Ryniec, I'm Terry Ruffalo.